I'm going to start recording. Okay, people are coming in. Okay, Ben.
Right.
Hello. Hi, guys. We'll just wait a couple more minutes for a few more people to join. Appreciate um, you guys joining. We'll just wait a couple more minutes to see if anybody else joins into the meeting. If
Is
I
your camera?
if I can just
Yes.
ask you to mute your microphones, please. Thank you. Just give it another minute, see if anybody else joins us, and then we'll get started. I won't take too much of your time. It will be very brief information, and then then we'll continue to share some stuff as we go. So it won't take too much of your time. We'll just give another 30 seconds or so. Okay. Just double checking, Ben, you can see the presentation on your screen there, yeah?
Yeah. Yeah. All good.
Okay, thanks everyone. Obviously not not the most ideal evening to be doing this, but just conscious that we wanted to get some information out. This is being recorded and it will be shared into the groups as well. And I know there'll be some of you that will be joining onto the the Gothia Cup call afterwards as well. So, like I said, I won't take up too much of your time. Just some very sort of brief information, basic information before we head into the tour season, I guess. So the JSSL Singapore Sevens, it takes place in Singapore. We attended it last year for the first time, and we took three teams over there. And as a football experience and experience in general, it was a brilliant tournament. The weather was very, very interesting, very hot, but rained a lot of the time. So a new experience for lots of the kids that went over there. So the tournament this year or next year, this season is 16th to the 20th of April 2025, during the Easter break. The tournament runs across 3 days. Obviously, it's quite a long travel for us, but I will come on to that shortly. Um, just in terms of the tour tournament format, it's 7 versus 7. It is a seven-a-side tournament, which we were going into it last time a little bit unsure of, but it proved to be a real benefit for all of the players. So 7 versus 7 will take 10 players per squad as a maximum, just to allow for maximum game time. Over the 3 days, within the tournament, the teams play a minimum of 7 games, which for us was the biggest benefit of going to the tournament last year. I mean, I know lots of you have traveled to different tournaments. There is so much more football in the Singapore tournament than any of the other ones we've certainly experienced. So 7 25 minutes matches across the competition, but we also last year, and we will do again this year, is play friendlies against other teams as well, just to ensure that the players get plenty of football during the trip. The group games take place Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and the knockout matches take place on a Sunday. We've got some younger age groups that we've opened it up to. They must travel with the parents, just having the parents in Singapore with us. And then under 14s, under 13, 14s, and above may travel with the staff the same way that we do on our other trips. The age groups that we're taking are there on the screen. So these are the age groups that we plan to take. And the reason I have to emphasize that is because we may not take all of those teams. We may get interest from some other teams, but our plan and the registration that we've done is to take those teams. And with the shift this year of obviously shifting our age groups to calendar year, January to December, that obviously helps us. So under 11s through to under 15 boys of 2014 through to 2010. And the girls, they only offer U12, U14, U16. So they don't go through all of the ages for the girls. So that's our planned age groups to take. We're trying to open it up to everybody and anybody that is interested in attending. If we get 25 players that want to travel with the under 12s, great, or under 13s, brilliant. We're in a position where we can take multiple teams to that. So that's our intention. That's not to say that all of those teams will go, or we may not add an additional, but they're the ones that we've registered for with the tournament so far. Just to be clear, there are no dispensations during the JSSL Singapore tournament. With the Gothia Cup, if you get one or two dispensations to take a player that's a year older, that is not the case at the JSSL tournament. So they're the age groups that we plan to take. I guess the most important part and reason people are on the call, or ultimately a deciding factor, is the cost of the tour. So we were surprised last year when we went and in terms of the expense of when we were in Singapore, and I think for those that travelled as well will echo that. So what's included for the 4,750 per player is 4 nights stay at the hotel, and how the hotel allocation works is that once we've registered and confirmed our registration in terms of the number of teams that we want to take, the tournament organizers provide us an option of hotel A, B, or C. And then that's down to us then to do our due diligence and find out which hotel is the most suitable. And we will do that. I mean, we went last year and we have taken some learnings away in terms of location of hotel, etc. So we cannot go and select the hotel. They'll give us an option of a number of hotels. We will then select that. 3 meals per day. Is that obviously the breakfast that the players will have in the morning at the hotel. We will then go out, team lunch, and then team dinner. So that is taken care of as part of the package that you pay for. And the reason we do that, and we do this across all of our tours, is purely to remove any split groups and split. We want to go here, and so wants to spend X amount, and it just eliminates the divide on what we're trying to do. So, 3 meals a day, player entry, guarantee that matches will be at the hub. And for those of you that travelled last year, we were informed that this would happen. And at the hub is the main centre of where the tournaments will take place. We were told due to the weather that they had to move things around, etc. But we have made sure categorically that our fixtures will be taking place at the hub, which is the main arena, I guess, that the JSSL Singapore facilitate all of the games. Transport from the airport to the hotel, from the hotel back to the airport, which is obviously extremely important. So a team bus will be waiting for us when we land. It will take us to the hotel. Our intention is to land in the evening, so less hassle, straight onto the bus to the hotel, and then vice versa, going back from the hotel to the airport. A tour kit, I think we pride ourselves on the kit that we provide in terms of the quality of it. We will definitely a learning for us for Singapore next year, regardless of what the weather forecast says. We will be taking big coats and jackets because it bucketed down with rain a couple of days. So I'll come on to the kit, and then a specific 6-week training block that we'll use for the teams on a Friday or Saturday as an addition to their current training schedule, which we think is extremely important because a lot of the age groups that we plan on taking are not playing 7v7 football in their current leagues. So we think it's going to be extremely important to prepare them with the coach that we assign to the team to play to train in a 6-week block, including fixtures, in addition to their training schedule for a 7v7 tournament that they'll be going into, because it is a completely different format, particularly if players are going from 11v11 all the way down to 7v7. I know a few people have just joined. I will recap at the end. I just want to run through where we're at now. What is not included? The flights are not included in that cost, but we will, or potentially, depending on the numbers, we will go and seek a group booking. And the reason that we don't do this for a Gothia Cup, for example, is that happens during the summer and everybody's everywhere and anywhere in the world. So trying to organize a group flight booking becomes very, very difficult. All of the players traveled with us from here last year to Singapore. So it probably makes sense, if possible, to go and seek a group booking, whether that be with Singapore Airlines or Emirates. And then we will discuss that a little bit further down the line. Insurance is not included in the cost. And visas if required. From my memory, I don't think that we required many, if any, visas last year. And then the spending money. Spending money was, they wanted to go to the shops in the evening. We didn't have too much time to go and give them the opportunity to go and spend money, but we did have a days exploring sort of during the daytime when we weren't playing. We went down to the beach, etc. So any spending money that they want to spend outside of the football side of things, that is not included in the cost. Flights, we've been looking at the flights because, of course, we want to try and be as organised and be prepared in advance as possible. Like I said, it is quite a lengthy travel that certainly could potentially have impact on the way that we play. So the plan is to depart Dubai on the 16th of April at 10:15 a.m., arrive into Singapore of the evening, quarter to 10 at night. Obviously, like I mentioned, get the bus, but then to the hotel, which will be provided. Depart Singapore on Sunday, the 20th of April. We flew throughout the night last year. We haven't locked in which flight that we'll be traveling on back from Singapore, because we would like to discuss with Singapore Airlines and Emirates the potential of a group booking. But they're the dates, just so that you have them. As of now, or today when we looked, cost of the flight per adult was 2275 as of today. I'm not going to say that's it. I don't want to be quoted, because if we book flights in 4 weeks' time and they've gone up, I don't want to be liable for that. But just to give you a rough indication of what the flights are as of today to Singapore, and that was with the cheaper one was actually with Singapore Airlines. So just to reiterate, the flight cost is not included in the package, but we are going to have conversations with the airlines about a potential group booking. And my understanding with that is that the cost of the flights are reduced, obviously due to the number, or depending on the number of passengers. Next steps are really, really important. It may seem that we are getting information out early, and the reason, sorry, I'll go back. The reason for that is we don't want to be in a position in any of the tours that we do this year where we're chasing players and trying to fill gaps that we don't need to do. The first step is a deposit payment on the Friday, the 8th of November. And that's also the deadline to opt out. What we cannot categorically do is maybe we're not sure, but things are changing. We want to be very, very clear that your son or daughter is in or is out. And that will give us adequate time to prepare and plan and have conversations where we need to. So that's the first step. It's a deposit payment. Or your opt out for next Friday. And then, as mentioned, we will plan to have all of our flights booked, whether that be the group booking or just a staff flights, to be booked by Monday, the 18th of November, which then gives you, as parents, if we are not doing a group booking, it gives you a clear indication of which flights that we are booking. Then we go through the payment processes, and then we'll start our JSSL prep training, and that will whether it be on a Friday or Saturday, depending on which coach is assigned to each team, because some of the coaches have their day off on Friday, some of their coaches have the day off on Saturday. So the prep training will start from February. And then the final payment to be made, we'll have a kit distribution evening as well, just so the players get all of their kit, because obviously some kits may fit and may need some changing. So we'll come on to that as well. And then obviously we fly to Singapore and come back. Just in terms of an additional next step that we have is, along with the payment information that goes out for the deposit, will be a document that you are required to fill in. And I guess a mistake that we made last year is we were very prepared in distributing our kit booking form. We asked for kit sizing 5 months before you went, and some kit sizing changed. So we will ask for an initial kit sizing guide from you in terms of what your son or daughter is wearing at the moment, but we will be ordering the kit in February. So we'll be getting the final kit sizing from you in February, because as we know, kits sizing may change for you, just to be clear. But in terms of collating information, passports, Emirates IDs, medical condition, food allergies, that document will go out next week along with the deposit payment, if that makes sense. Any questions? If you want to, I don't think I've stopped you from unblocking your microphone. So if anyone wants to ask a question, please feel free, and I'll do my absolute best to answer it.
Adam, sorry, it's Derek. It's Derek here. Sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, so I just want to say that having done it last year, I thought the tour was excellent. I thought it was a really nice tour to do, and just for those who maybe didn't go last year, considering I think it was one of those kind of tournaments that was very friendly. There was good level competition, and I think most of the players, most of the teams had a really good time. One question I had was regarding kind of coaches. So, is it likely that the coaches of the current teams, so if your son is playing for under 13 or under 12 or under 14, is it likely that that's the coach then that will travel to Singapore? I think it always helps when you got that kind of consistency.
Yeah, good question. Yeah, and I'm glad. Firstly, Derek, thank you. I'm glad you said that, because we wouldn't have gone back to this tournament if certainly the coaching group didn't feel as strongly about it as they did. I think there may be a misconception that the level of the tournament wasn't as high as others that we've participated in, and that is absolutely not the case. And we're very sort of keen to make sure this is part of our core calendar every year, just because we were so impressed with the organisation, the amount of football, and also the level. So I'll echo that. In terms of the coach consistency, yes, absolutely. That is our intention. Our intention, if the under 12s girls are traveling, our intention is to make sure their coach for this season is the one that takes them on that trip. We can't guarantee that in terms of some of our staff may travel during that time, but yes, the intention is to have their coach of the team for this year to be the one that takes them on to the trip. And that goes for Hothia Cup as well.
Sorry, my last comment on that was the under 12 team that went last year was it was a really good group of boys, but I think the point is worth making that it was a mixture of 11 and 12s last year, whereas I think if a 12 team went or if an 11 team went, I think the chances of, let's say, getting to the latter stage of the competition would be increased.
Agreed. Yeah, totally agree with you.
Okay. Thank you. That's it for me. That's it.
Thank you. Good stuff. If there are any more questions, feel free to. I'm hoping that you guys can just turn your microphones on.
Yeah. Can you hear me, Coach?
Yes.
Just a quick question about in terms of the teams that you're going to develop. Is it based on level, or are they going to go all together as a group? For example, U14 A, B, C. Are they going to go all together, or are they going to go separately?
Good question. So not every player from every team is going to want to attend. So we will select the teams based off of who has expressed an interest and paid the deposit, or who is serious about attending it. So if all of the under 14 Blues want to go and all of the under 14 Whites want to go, then great, we'll take them as teams. If not, then we'll put a team together to make sure that they're competitive. So
Okay, follow-up question, one more question just from me. For example, age group, like for example, U14, if there were to be like a couple people there that are like 2010, but like late 2010, like November, December 2010, would they still be able to go to the cup, or they will be moved up to U15?
Good question. There's no dispensation. So no, you have to be that actual year group. There are no dispensations. So 2011, 2012, 2013, 2014, that you cannot be November, December of the year above and play in that team. So it's a good question.
Okay, thank you.
Good stuff. I will definitely share this recording and the document that we've put together. Appreciate we anticipated if maybe a few more people in the call, but Halloween has taken over the whole of Dubai, it seems. So if there are no more questions, then appreciate your time, and I'll share the documentation and the recording into the group, and hopefully we will see you in Singapore. Obviously before.
The Gothia Cup meeting, it will be at 9 o'clock, correct?
Yes, 9 o'clock.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you all for your time. Thank you very much.